Hello and welcome to Home with Sarah Jane. In today's video, I wanted to share the simple way we will be celebrating the first day of fall and the first week of fall in our homeschool. If you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Sarah and I'm a homeschooling mom to two girls, ages 11 and 14. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by once again. I do really appreciate you. So, fall is almost among us, and fall always makes an appearance in our homeschool. We absolutely love celebrating the first day of fall and pretty much that first week of fall. Now, with fall happening at the end of September, we kind of like to, like I was saying, celebrate the first day, but then taking that first week, which is the last week of September, and just kind of taking it easy and focusing on fall related things. So that's what we're going to be doing. No difference there, but I am going to be keeping it very simple this year. And I'm pretty much just going to be incorporating good books and food. That is what I do best, books and food. And so no surprise that that's how I'm going to be celebrating it this year with my kids. Now, there have been years that we will spend this week going on field trips, crafting a lot, going on nature walks and, doing themed unit studies that have to do with fall. And all of that is fantastic. We've enjoyed all of that. But this year, I wanted to keep it even more simple because both of my kids' workload for homeschool is so much more this year that I didn't want to add too much more to their plate and kind of make it feel daunting or overwhelming. I wanted to keep the joy, the coziness, and simple. Wanted to keep it simple. We all need simple right now. It's been hectic over here. So I'm going to be incorporating cute little stories and food to celebrate fall this year. And I wanted to share some of the books that I'm going to be using and then talk about some of the recipes as well. But let's start off by talking about the first day of fall. So the first day of fall is on September 23rd this year. It is a Saturday. And so it technically doesn't kind of align with our homeschool days because it's on a weekend. We don't typically homeschool on a weekend unless, something came up in the week where we have to. But there are like three things that are always a must for the first day of fall. And my kids said that they're okay with not going over the top this year because, there are some years I've gone over the top, like full on parties for the first day of fall, okay? So this year, again, simple. So the three things that we are going to be keeping to that we do every single year is on the first day of fall, we will read pumpkin soup. So I have read pumpkin soup to my kids from the time that they were born on the first day of fall. So they have never had a first day of fall without reading pumpkin soup. We absolutely love this story. It is so sweet. It's about three animals that are making pumpkin soup together and they kind of get into a little quarrel and they have to, become friends again. So it's a really, really sweet story. But because I want to incorporate food this year instead of a lot of crafting, which again, there's nothing wrong with crafting, but my kids love to get in the kitchen. We will be making pumpkin soup for dinner this night on the first day of fall when we read pumpkin soup. Simple, basic, right? You don't have to do anything but make soup and read a story. So that's what we're going to be doing for the first day of fall. But there are two other things that happen on the first day of fall that I can't get away from because my kids absolutely love these. And that is making a themed breakfast. So it could either be like all pumpkin themed or just fall flavored foods, or one year I did an entire breakfast based around apples, like just a little fall breakfast. So my kids did ask that I make them their special breakfast still, so I will continue to do that. And then the last thing that we like to do to celebrate the first day of fall, and something that does happen every year, is I make some kind of new recipe of hot cocoa, hot chocolate, or apple cider. This year, I'm super excited to say that I'm going to be making, for the first day of fall, s'mores hot chocolate. I am really, really excited to try this recipe, and I am super excited that my husband's going to be home to enjoy it when we actually get to, make this, because usually my husband misses out on a lot of the fun food and the fun drinks and things like that because he's working. But because it's on a Saturday this year, he's going to be able to enjoy this hot chocolate as well. And I think my kids will absolutely love this one. Again, we've never had it before, but it sounds fantastic. I will link the recipe I found down below if you're interested. But again, I don't know what it tastes like yet, so don't blame me if it's bad. Okay, so now that we talked about the first day of fall, let's talk about that, the week that follows. Now, again, because the first week of fall is pretty much the last week of September, we like to take advantage of that before we switch back over to like, Halloween books and Halloween schooling and Day of the Dead stuff and, all of that. We just like to focus on fall, just fall in general this week. And again, I'm doing that with adorable books. We read these books every single year, so these are nothing new to us, but incorporating the food with it, I think, is going to make a huge difference, and it's just a very simple way to make things fun. Now, before we jump into the rest of the books that I'm going to be doing for that week, I do want to say that this year, our morning basket was very different this year, and we are celebrating American history for however long it takes us. So instead of doing themed morning baskets every month, I'm kind of just sticking to a theme for however long it takes us to get through. And that kind of threw like a wrench in my plans when it came to holiday schooling, because typically, like in September we would have like a fall themed basket, or October will be a Halloween basket or a spooky basket. So instead of trying to do our morning time or our morning basket at the same time as trying to do fall, I'm just pausing. I'm pausing our morning time when it comes to American history, and we're only going to be doing these fall little books in the morning. So it'll be, again, something to simplify our day, give us a little bit of a break that we might need. Well, I don't want to say might need. I know we need it this year. And just read a cute little story and make some food together. So we will be pausing our morning time for the week. Now let's get into the books that I'm going to be using and the recipes. So for this week, we will be reading, or the first week, we will be reading A Pipkin of Pepper. Now, again, this is a pumpkin soup story. My kids absolutely love this book. Again, it's still the 3 characters from the first pumpkin soup, only they want to add pepper to their pumpkin soup, and they have to go through the troubles of that. This was actually kind of hard for me to find a recipe to go along with it, because well, for one, there wasn't a lot of like pumpkin and pepper recipes, so there's that. And I didn't want to just make another pumpkin soup, so we are actually going to be making a pumpkin chili to go with this book. I don't know how I feel about that, you guys. I do not know how I feel. If you've ever had pumpkin chili before, let me know what you think about it, whether it was good or bad. We've never had it. I don't think it's going to be a win. I can't really say for sure because we've never had it, but I don't think that it's going to be a win in my home. So I do want to make sure I'm going to be keeping some boxes of like macaroni and cheese or stuff to make sandwiches or something this night, because I don't think we're going to like it, but we're still going to make it and try it. That's what this whole thing's all about, is trying new recipes and spending time in the kitchen together. And some recipes just don't work out. So again, a pipkin of pepper and pumpkin chili. Now on another day, we will be reading Delicious, another pumpkin soup story, only this one is about the 3 little characters trying to make a soup without using pumpkins because none of the pumpkins are ripe. So they have to try all these different vegetables to try and make the perfect soup, and none of them are making them happy. So we will be making a creamy vegetable soup to go along with this book. And this one obviously was so much easier to find a recipe for, because they're just making a whole bunch of different vegetable soups, and I thought that this would be super cute. I think this recipe looks fantastic. I will link all the recipes that I'll be using below, but again, I haven't made any of them, so don't get mad at me if it's a gross recipe. But we're still going to try it. Vegetable soup and delicious. Now, for another day, we will be reading Too Many Pumpkins. This is one of my favorite fall books of like all time. I absolutely love Too Many Pumpkins, and this is about a woman that does not like pumpkins. She like despises pumpkins. When she was younger, there was a time where things were rough in her family and she had nothing but pumpkin to eat. So when she got older, she was like, no, I do not want pumpkins. Well, she accidentally grows pumpkins throughout her entire yard, and now she doesn't want to waste them. So she starts baking and cooking and doing all these things to not waste the pumpkins. And it kind of brings the community together. So this book is absolutely adorable. We love it, but I love it so much. And with this book, we are going to be making pumpkin muffins or pumpkin scones. My kids are still trying to figure out which one they want to do. My youngest wants to do pumpkin muffins. My oldest wants to do pumpkin scones. We might just make both. But yeah, so we'll be baking with this one. And again, I absolutely love this story. It's so cute. I'm going to be reading Hello Harvest Moon. So this will be the day of the harvest moon. So we will read Hello Harvest Moon, and we will be cooking pumpkin or baking pumpkin cookies. So I just kind of thought, you know, the round cookies would kind of represent the moon. It would be cute. It would be a thing, you know. So we'll be reading Hello Harvest Moon and making pumpkin cookies. This is one of our newer books to our holiday books, so it's still a good, sweet story. It's just, it's not too many pumpkins. Okay, now on Monday through Thursday, we usually do our morning time one way, and then on Friday, we incorporate like poetry and art and music and all of that. So again, because we're pausing our normal morning basket, I still wanted to incorporate art and poetry. So we will be reading through Sing a Song of Seasons. I forgot to bring it up. I'll just insert a picture. So we will be reading our, you know, fall or autumn themed poetry. That's not going to change. But for our watercolor that we do every Friday, I decided to skip ahead in our watercolor book and actually do the sassafras leaf. So again, it looks like a little fall leaf. So this is what we're going to be doing on Friday, that first Friday of fall. We'll be focusing on this watercolor, but we will also be reading the book, The Leaf Thief. So I am going to be using these two together. This is a really sweet, silly story about a squirrel that thinks his leaves are being stolen. So, and it's actually, you know, fall and the leaves changing. So this is a really, really cute story about a really confused squirrel. And it's just a sweet little story. So those are the books that I'm like theming things on. So with The Leaf Thief, again, we're going to be doing watercolor. With those other books I shared, we're going to be doing recipes. But there are a few other books that I just want to share with you really quick. But I'm not really theming anything about them. I'm just going to kind of squeeze them in somewhere because these are books that we read every single fall. So we will also be reading Pete the Cat Falling for Autumn, Pumpkin Town, Oxcart Man, and Stregonona's Harvest. So these books I will be reading sometime in that first week of fall. I'm just not really theming anything off of these like I did the others. And I also wanted to mention before I let you guys go that these are not all of our fall books. Like we have Halloween books, we have Thanksgiving books, we have all of these holiday books, but these are the ones that we're going to be using to celebrate the first day of fall. These are the ones that we always read, you know, that last week of September. I don't know, it's just something that we enjoy. Just even though we've read these books, you know, over and over and over again every single fall, we still enjoy them every single year. Just okay, the last thing that I wanted to mention before this video is over is that I still wanted to incorporate some kind of activity just to get my kids outside, and I wanted to keep it simple, and I wanted to keep it simple, something that we could do at home. So what I decided to do is include my children in our sunflower harvest this year. Now, I have a whole bunch of sunflowers in my backyard. I'll see if I can insert a picture. And it's almost that time. It's almost that time to harvest the seeds of the sunflower and dry them out and roast them. So that's what I'm going to have my kids do this year. I'm going to teach them how to harvest sunflowers and sunflower seeds and roast the seeds and basically preserve them and get them ready to store. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing for our craft or activity this first week of fall. So I'm really, really excited about that because this is still something fairly new to me as well. I'm not even close to being an expert at preserving and harvesting sunflower seeds, so there's that. But I think that it would be a lot of fun to get my kids involved in this activity as well. Not just that, it's something we could do together at home and as an entire family, and we don't have to spend any money. So that's the best part, right? Keeping it inexpensive as well. So that is everything for today. If you are celebrating fall in any kind of way, let me know, big or small. Let me know how you're celebrating fall in your homeschool. I'd love to hear it. And if you have any book recommendations or anything like that, I don't care if they're fall related or not. I just love books. Leave it in the comment section. I would love to hear some recommendations on books as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. You have a great day. Bye.